They say games are played on the field and not on paper, and that's a good thing. Because if this one were played on paper, it might get ugly. But you never know what's going to happen. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the FIU Panthers, just outside of Miami and Pit Bull Stadium. As we'll see a squad from the Sun Belt, the Florida Atlantic Owls, taking on a participant from the playoff last year, the Florida International Panthers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, here with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get this thing rolling. FIU will kick it off to get things underway. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So the Florida Atlantic Owls offense will have the football first. These rivalry games can really get the blood pumping, and we'll see who can manage their emotions best early.
Everyone's been waiting for this game, right? You know, both of these teams have had this game circled all the way back to the beginning of the offseason, so you got to be able to play under control.
With passion, with energy, with hatred, because it's a rivalry game, but keep your emotions in check and making sure I'm controlling what I can control.
Got his man. Out to the 36-yard line after gaining 10 on that one.
And after that long completion for the first down, did you see everybody sprinting to the line of scrimmage offensively? They want to go tempo right now.
Unloads to the wideout. Got the quick pass. He's into plus territory, knocked out of bounds after the nice game. Mark it at the 47.
And as soon as the receiver caught the ball, you saw the quarterback start communicating to his teammates what the next play was going to be, because they're now changing the tempo and going fast.
Working that left side now. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Florida Atlantic trying to line up quickly. You guys have both played in rivalry games, so what did you do to keep yourself locked in during that week of preparation, David?
Well, you try to keep your emotions in check, but it's really, really hard to do because a lot of times the hatred is so strong, the emotions are so real. The coaches get super tight and they start talking about things, Jesse, so you don't just treat it as another game.
No, it's hard to handle the anxiety leading up to those games, but not just because of what it means to your season, but because of what the fans are saying, what your coaches are saying, what your family and friends are saying. How important those rivalries are.
On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. Lofts one high and deep. And it's knocked away, and they don't convert on fourth down. The Panthers offense will get the ball for the first time. And you've got to believe this defense has put in extra time to try to slow down this tight end, David. But the question, can they even stop him?
It's one thing to watch it, it's another thing to stop. And it just impressed with the way they move him around. They use him. Sometimes he blocks. Sometimes he's a wide receiver. Sometimes he's a lineman. Sometimes he's a wide receiver. So tough to figure out where he's going to be to double team him. But I bet he's got the attention of this defense, Jesse.
He does for sure, and because of that, David, I think it's going to open up some opportunities for maybe some of the other guys out wide. If you've got two guys covering the tight end as a quarterback, you've got to be ready to throw the football somewhere else sometimes. So you might see a little bit more balance in the passing attack today.
Really good offenses are able to attack short. You've got to be able to attack the whole field to make you honor that underneath part, then the intermediate part, and then you take shots down the field. This will loosen up some shots for later in the game.
And the Panthers are at the line looking to convert on third and short. They've got it inside the 40 at the 39 as they pick up the first down.
When the running back gets going and gets ahead of steam like that, so hard to get to the ground. That's why you blitz. That's why you bring pressure. That's why you bring more guys in the box so you can get him before he gets.
Hits him in stride inside the 10. He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. First and goal from the 8. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And that big gainer on the last one has him ready to go from inside the 10. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, there's a statement by the defensive line. First down play, expecting run, and they just dominated up front. Beat their one-on-ones, and force a tackle for a loss.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Might be calling a hot route. Dropping back, it's Tollefson. Dumps it off in the flats. And that defense is there to guide him out of bounds after a short gain.
I like the aggressiveness by this defense. You've got to play tight on the wide receivers. There's not a lot of space on the field. You've got to be aggressive, and you've got to make tackles.
They've worked it down to the 4-yard line, but now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking for the goal line. Touchdown, Florida International. And they have the first points of the game. They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. So that's a 60-yard touchdown drive. And they cap the drive with a 4-yard touchdown pass. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Florida Atlantic has the ball back, and the offense will try to put together a drive. They've got it back after that last drive stalled out, and they were stopped on 4th down, David.
Yeah, and they put a little bit of a drive together, but Jesse, they stalled on the other side of the field, and they got to find a way to keep that momentum going as they get closer to the end zone.
I agree. I do like their mindset, though, and I think they need to continue being aggressive moving forward in this game.
Fires to the big fella. Gets it to the 42-yard line, and that's a first down. The Owls headed quickly to the line.
And that's what I love about this offense. You're not going to get all of your big chunk plays in the passing game by throwing it deep down the field. You can kind of dink and dunk, and on that RPO play, they had it dialed up and set up to go to that player in the right flat. Nice job.
He's got it on the right. Turning it on. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. Florida Atlantic has the offense humming.
You coming into this game, if they throw completions and get first downs, that's when they like to change up the tempo and go fast. You're seeing it here.
Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Firing deep. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't hook up.
And that is not where you want to miss. You do not want to miss high over the middle. A lot of that times that turns into an interception. He doesn't get that, but he's got to lower that football and give his receiver a chance to make a play.
Shoved out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 15-yard line, and this offense is doing work. And the Owls, after exploding for that huge run, back to work. Pulls and fires complete to the right. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Off the play fake. Fires into the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Florida Atlantic. Looking for the tie with the extra point.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
The Florida International offense is back on the field. They stuck the last drive in the end zone. They'll try to follow suit here. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. Back to throw, it's Tollefson. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down, second down coming.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on it.
And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9.
And the defense gets a sack, and that's going to be the big determining factor in this football game. A week ago, he only got sacked one time. They've already got him on the ground. If they want to win this football game, they got to keep getting after the quarterback.
On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
Well, after giving up that touchdown on the opening drive, they had a little bit of a come to Jesus with their defensive coordinator on the sideline. I don't know what he said, but
he wants to take the top off. He's got it and more than enough for a first down. Nothing but green grass down the middle. And he'll take it to the house. He got loose. Touchdown, Panthers.
And I'm pretty sure the card usually tells you to punt in this situation, backed up on your own end. But forget that. We're going to be aggressive. And how about the deep shot down the field on 4th down? You make the play and get the huge explosive touchdown for this offense. Risk it for the biscuit, baby.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Looking to throw on first down. Good timing on the quick out. He goes out of bounds right at the 37-yard line. A good, productive play there to get things going. We're through one, and what a back-and-forth battle between these two quarterbacks as we look at the stats. So after the break, they'll go back to work. Wants to throw on first down. Right on the money. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play. Florida Atlantic trying to get back on the ball. Power football with the run. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain. They have it at the 43, 3rd and short, trying to avoid making a decision on 4th down. They'll try to get the first through the air. Short throw to the sideline, picks up just a little. They were banking on the yards after the catch, but that went into the negative column.
Yeah, and I'm banking on the ball coming out quick. When I'm a defense and understanding 3rd and short, understand they're going to throw the ball really quickly, try to make a play. The defense knew it, broke on the football, made a nice tackle to force a 4th down.
A bold decision to go for it on 4th down, and one that did not pay off. Might be changing the route. Wants to throw. It's Tollefson. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a first down at the 31. Handoff to the lone back. Oh, he's got some space. And he takes it all the way down to the 10-yard line. An explosive play for this offense.
what a run. Great speed, great vision, elusiveness, and David, he's tackled down close to the goal line.
Yeah, and this offense, when you can run the football like this, man, you will have success, especially in the red zone, trying to get touchdowns.
Works the middle. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play, in prime position for a score. Going to work on second down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Touchdown, Panthers. Excellent pass by the back on the option.
Great job by the running back scoring on that pitch play off the option. It wasn't easy. He had to...
FIU gets it back, and the Panthers will send the offense back onto the field. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
And how about the efficiency on that one? It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
Great offenses always stay ahead of the chains. That run right there, now you're in a good position. It's not 2nd and long. It's not 3rd and long. Now the whole playbook's open. The defense really has to honor run and pass on the next snap.
Love the decision-making by the quarterback there on the RPO play. Defense took everything away deep down the field, so just check it down, get it to your guy in the right flat, and let him go get yards.
The RPO, it's complete. Shoved out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 15-yard line, and this offense is doing work. The Panthers will line it up on 1st and 10. He'll do it himself. And he has run out of bounds as they go backwards there and just avoided the contact. Last play was a near disaster, now dealing with 2nd and 13. They'll go to the ground. They get him stopped after a 2-yard gain. Ball's at the 17.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
We're at the 2-minute timeout. They've built a big lead, and they'll try to pile on a little more before the break. It'll be 3rd and long. A quick completion to the left, looking for the 1st down. Touchdown, FIU! And they... No matter how much college football changes, realignment, all of that kind of stuff, rivalries are consistent, and winning rivalry games, well, that's just the best.
Because they